We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
Saying his goodbyes. He blew his eye socket off and his eyeball fell out.
White women keep kidnapping us. Y'all seen The Blind Side?
Aren't you glad we have that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode?
It's going to come in handy for this episode. This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Wraps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Wraps, where the big boys play. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Wait, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm recording.
You're recording? Okay. Well, shit. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Voice Party Podcast. That's the name, right?
Yeah,
podcast.
That is the name of our podcast.
I'm here, JD.
I feel like you should know that.
I should know that. That's a little running gag I have with him, just to make sure he's paying attention. Is it called The Voice Party?
It is called The Voice Party.
What's up, Black Joaquin? How you doing, dude?
I'm swell, man. I'm
great. You drinking coffee out of the Voice Party mug?
Yes,
Thank you for putting the merch out. And we got
Whoa, that is not my name.
we got Marcos here.
What's going on, man?
You took the sunglasses off. What's going on?
Sunglasses? What the fuck is wrong with you today? Gosh.
Oh no.
You embarrassed? You nervous?
I don't know what's going on.
I have that effect on me. It's not a big deal. It's okay.
It's not every.
You must have turned it on or something. Cause
And we got Phil here with the ones and twos. What's up, Phil?
What's cracking, Cracker?
I'm chilling. And
I'm
then,
taking it back.
Okay, very special guest.
We are off to such a start today. Hi, I'm Gin Fragonard.
Gin
nice
from
to be here with y'all.
Gin from the Fragonards.
Yes.
That's what.
that was the most chaotic
That
fucking
was a
intro
chaos.
in the world.
That was
It's not
chaos.
every day.
We've had
worse. We've
had worse.
Yeah, we've had bad.
We've had worse, but this is fun. Thank you for helping me with the intro.
No problem. I can host too if you need. You
Oh,
just give me a signal and be like, I'm gonna need you to take over for.
Take over right now.
Hi. So what are all your names?
Oh, we just went to. Oh, she's a bad host too.
No, but
Oh no.
we just introduced
Well, I
ourselves.
just
No,
called
I'm
you Joaquin.
restarting the whole thing now.
That's
Now.
true.
I called him Joaquin. That's not his name. So yeah, thank you for coming out, taking a long ass drive.
2-hour
to get here.
drive. You
Yeah,
said.
just a couple hours. It's all good.
my God.
And we appreciate you. Like you reached out to me about it because I had Gabby Bravo on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Gabby's the coolest.
What's your relationship with her?
So me and my friend Keto originally started the Fragonards like a year and a half ago or something like that. And forever ago, he and Gabby were in a band called Pan Dulce together.
Pan Dulce.
Yeah.
I remember
she told us that.
on your little
talked
clip,
about that.
y'all were into it. So anyway, they have that connection, and then so I got to meet Gabby through Keto, and I love every time I get to see her perform. She's amazing, and just like also a really awesome person. So.
You guys performed together, right?
We haven't performed like together, but she's been in our lineup, and we've been in her lineups.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, talk to us about the name, the Fragonards. We were just talking about this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
It's an interesting name.
It is. Well, so I was an art major in college.
Okay.
I have a double major in French and painting.
Okay.
And so I love an art pun. And to get myself through college, I was a cocktail bartender, and we all had like the responsibility to come up with a drink. And so in college, all of my drinks were like I always say drink puns. No, art history references and literary puns and stuff. So Jean Fragonard was a Rococo painter. And so I invented the Gin Fragonard. And so when I came up with my stage name years later, I was like, I'm going to be Gin Fragonard because that was a sick drink. So, and I couldn't think of anything else. It was going to be Gin Fragonard or Lizzie Martini. And Lizzie Martini sounds like...
That's an alternate universe.
That's an alternate universe. It sounds like somebody who's like on a cruise ship, like singing in a piano bar.
Yeah.
And so Lizzie Martini is my spy name, which this is really awkward. Now we have to cut that out because like now there's going to be so many people like,
that's what we're
oh
not
my God, the entire time Lizzie Martini is a fake. No. So yeah, if you've encountered me in a foreign country and you were like, that's not a spy for sure. Lizzie Martini is a spy, but Gin Fragonard is a musician.
What was in the drink?
It's
A gin.
nothing that I would enjoy drinking now, to be very honest. But it was gin, which I love gin.
Yeah.
And then creme de violet, lemon, ginger bitters and an egg white, and you shook it up, and then there was a foam on top, and then you put the ginger bitters in this like pretty little like design, and then you took a toothpick and went.
Do they still serve it?
I don't think they serve it anymore.
Man, that sounds delicious.
Probably not. But yeah, I feel like I need to update it to a drink that I would actually drink now, which is more like just gin and maybe a squeeze of lime and maybe an ice cube. Is more my vibe now.
Of like making pre-made cocktails of the Gin Fragonard on tour and then sell them as merch.
Yeah, ooh, that would be cool. Yeah, at some of our shows we've served gin Fragonards.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So how did the band start? How did you start the band? Like take us to how you started music in general.
Yeah, so I in a sense I've been in music for a long time. I grew up kind of just like in the church band, which is like so silly to talk about now, but yeah, and so when I was in high school, me and my best friend Brent Shahansky led a church band together. So that was like my first introduction to band life at all. And before that, all of my brother's best friends were in that same band. And then I went off to college and I honestly stopped doing music in a serious way for like 10 years. And then I got broken up with for the first time ever. And the next day I woke up and was like, I have something to say.
Yeah.
And oh my God.
That motherfucker.
That motherfucker. And the first line of my first song ever was, "Your little cock uncircumcised. I saw the sadness in your eyes. As you said, we couldn't romanticize this anymore."
This wasn't at the church,
you went
right?
You went from God of wonders beyond our majesty to singing about how small his dick is.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
So anyway, it's
This took a huge turn.
You are
Or a small turn.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, and then after that, I just like, I think once you got the music bug, it's hard to stop. And I just like,
How old were you when you went back to music?
when I started doing it again on my own, that was only like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh,
So
wow.
not recently.
Yeah.
Maybe even less than 2 years, to be honest. Yeah, I sent him a big long text like a few months ago and was like, "Hey, you probably don't even remember me, but I need to thank you because you totally changed my life. Thanks for bringing music back to me."
part of your musical origin story, right?
So what's the response to that? Like, you're welcome, or like, who?
Oh, he did not text back. Which, like, fair. All good. But so anyway, so I kind of continuing that story, I just like started writing, and it became like part of my response to just life. Like, things would happen and I would be like, I don't know how to deal with these emotions. And then
You deal with through music.
yeah, it was like suddenly I had a healthy way of dealing with shit.
Yeah.
And so
sorry, what you just said reminded me of the Thanos scene where I don't even know who you are.
You took everything.
You took everything from me. But that's dude, like some of that, it's the best way to express it through,
yeah. I mean, I think music is so cool because you can take something. I mean, all of my songs are about stuff that really happened in my life and that I'm dealing with, and or that my friends have dealt with, or just kind of like processing. And the coolest thing about that is that I can take pain out in the world and then put it into words, say it a bunch of times until I've processed it and like accepted it on some level, and then I can go and perform it. And I have people come up to me all the time and say like, "Oh my gosh, like that's so relatable," and like I'm going through that thing too. And then it's almost like the final level of dealing with something is bringing it to other people and like helping them with their journey.
Does it ever come to a place where like you started off you wrote the song because of a painful thing, and now your memories of it is people coming up to you saying how
I was just gonna ask that.
Yeah, so like the memories become people's response to it.
Yeah.
Well, you lose the original. Do you ever
Not
lose
that
the
you
original?
lose it, but yeah, it's not as
Yeah.
impactful.
No, I
as
mean,
this- but yeah,
I would actually argue, do you lose the original meaning of it to some extent, because now once it's the world's,
Yeah.
it's not yours anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean, all of my songs are so locked in a moment because of how I write. So yeah, absolutely. I think the second you give it give it out to the world, just like you're saying, it does.
It's their song now.
It's their song now, and it does impact the meaning. And honestly, like, I have to really go back and think through, like, why did I write that song again? And versus,
It's like when you ask, what's that song about? And you're like, oh, I don't remember.
yeah. Whereas when I was first playing all those songs, I was just like, it was so real for me.
Right.
And I was still so in it.
You still had the pain behind it when you sang it, probably, right?
Yeah. And it's interesting too, like, kind of on the other end of that, I have like songs like The Lucky One, which I'm hoping to put that one out on Spotify soon with the Fragonards. But it's a song that's like maybe one of my happiest songs. I don't write like a lot of happy songs, but that's one of the happier ones, or it sounds really happy. And it's really about like looking at all of the people who have passed away in my life and just being like, you know what? I'm alive today. That's amazing. And the bridge of that song, I name everybody in my life that's important to me that's passed away. And that still gets me, and it like still kind of brings me back to that. And
which you'll always have that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little personal
So-
too. Like you're very deep. That's a little more detail
Yeah.
than where most songwriters probably don't go.
Yeah, maybe. But it's I feel like it's kind of cool to have that where, yes, there's songs where I've lost like the original feelings, but I also have songs where it's like it reminds me of the feelings that I want to keep in my life. Like I want to keep those people close to me.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like like this one's for you, this one's for me.
Yeah, yeah.
You do that with like a lot of your songs. Is I do that with certain jokes. Like
I want to hear about that.
Well, I just like. I think I when I take him to shows with me, like, hey, I'm gonna do these jokes today, and it's like this one's a good one to start with, but this one I just like telling it, so it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
There's one specific joke that like him and me, we always talk about it. We're like, this, you know,
why does this,
like this one, like to both of us, is not the funniest joke ever, but it kills every single time. And so like
can't explain it.
You can't explain it. Like it's seriously just I don't know what it is, but it just always kills. And so we'll like be going to shows sometimes,
and I have to tell it everywhere.
And I'm like, dude, you gotta do the joke.
You gotta do the joke. And then people,
he's like, you always talk crap about that joke. I'm like, I know, but it works.
But
just
it works.
Go do it.
It gets like a really loud laugh.
Yeah,
so,
like obnoxiously.
Yeah.
It makes me mad how much it
Me too. Me too.
It kind of reminds me of what Eminem said about singles. He's like, I hate singles.
Yeah,
but I got to put them out.
Well, like what's it called? Mick Jagger. That at one point he was tired of singing Satisfaction.
Yeah, right.
Not that that's like I'm at that level, but it's one of those things where like, shit, like I can't get away from it now. You know.
You can get. I mean, but
Well,
it doesn't matter what level you're at.
Right.
I've sang some of the same songs with my band for years, and we were finally like, can we stop? Like,
yeah.
Or can we at least add like some new covers just to spice it up a little bit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You ever find yourself where you kind of get not tired, but like.
Just say the truth. Tired.
Yeah, you get tired of.
Tired.
I get tired of telling some of my jokes. So you got tired of singing some songs.
Yeah.
You ever?
There's definitely songs that
there's
I'm
an expiration date on the song.
Yeah, I don't want to say which one.
You don't.
Yeah, don't say it.
But yeah, I will say one that always gets asked for, and I do really enjoy playing it, but it's like such a belty song. Like I finish it and I'm like, and is Nasty Woman, and it's this song about like, don't fuck with a woman you don't know what you're doing, you'll be turned to stone, ain't no rest. What was it? I don't even know. But it always, I'm like, I'm not singing the song right now, so I don't know the words. But yeah, it always gets asked for at almost all of my shows, and there's like certain people who will come to my shows consistently and be like, Nasty Woman, and it's like, okay, I'm buckling up.
That's your free bird.
I know sometimes. People will yell at me at my shows too. They'll joke about it too, but I'll like gurgle whiskey before that song because it like gets my throat ready for it.
That's okay. So based on what you just said right now, so you have like a consistent fan base where you perform at right now, right? Like,
yeah, I would say so.
Like
I got cool homies. Is another way of saying that.
Like, with the band, have you, like, where did you guys start originally, like as a band?
Like what city?
Yeah.
When we first started, I was in Monterey.
Okay.
And then my bandmate Keto was in Castroville, and it started as just a duo.
Okay.
Okay. I was looking at your guys' Instagram.
Yeah, we started very like just folksy duo, just getting out there doing wineries and stuff. And then
like a folk White Stripes.
yeah, very much so. A lot of, and we actually would like make a lot of the same jokes as like the early White Stripes too. Like one time I totally embarrassed him, and somebody, because it's like a guy and a girl duo, so inevitably you have those questions. And
are you a couple?
Yeah, are you a couple?
Yeah.
And I just started messing with people at some point, and poor Keto had to deal with me messing with people. And one time we were at a venue, and I was like, anyway, today we're celebrating our 15 years of marriage. It's our anniversary today, and everybody was like, woo! And then they like look at us and they're like, how is that
They're like,
possible?
you guys look like you're only 15.
Yeah. So we
You ever
definitely
tell people you guys were
played
like
with that.
divorced?
We were betrothed.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Shoot, we should have
Be
done
like,
that.
we're 2 years divorced, but we still love rocking the stage together.
We still
And then,
love
like,
rock and roll.
And then play
no.
your like biggest love
Which is
song.
not a genre.
He doesn't
Yeah.
want to give up the rights to the music, so
Yeah.
here we are.
But anyway, we added other members, so now we're like more of a full band.
Yeah.
And Keto's on drums now, and then which was a switch around from the original kind of like how it was
After the divorce, you have to go.
after the divorce.
Yeah,
No,
he's
no.
got to move to the back of the band.
No divorce. Only good vibes.
So
between
is that
us.
him singing on the 2 records
Yes.
on Spotify?
And actually, the second one you can change is by Keto.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I was confused by that too, because your picture's on everything.
Yes.
But your Instagram is telling me 6 different stories, kind of like
Fair.
there's 2 members and there's 4 members, and then
Yeah, because it's kind of it's in transition right now. So
Okay,
it started
okay.
as one thing, and now we're transitioning kind of
So
to
you are the
full-
lead now.
Yes.
Everything going forward is going to be you and the Fragonards
Yes.
versus just the Fragonards.
Yeah, versus the duo. Yeah.
So when you first started your band, it was just the two of you. Was the folk sound, was that a mutual decision? Was that, whose idea was that?
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could remember. I feel like it just, so we started with just my songs, and then Keto, well, actually, this you were asking before. I keep losing the thread.
I know,
but
we keep- sorry.
I know, too many interesting questions. But the way that the Fragonard specifically started was that Keto was playing in another band with a mutual friend of ours, and he was playing bass, and I was asked to open for their band, and my friend told me that he was interested in playing bass on at that time I was just doing ukulele songs. So it was very like singer-songwriter-y, I guess kind of folksy ukulele.
Natural transition.
Yeah. And so my friend reached out to me and was like, hey, this guy named Keto, which I kind of knew him from like, the music scene in the area, but wanted to play bass on your songs. And to be honest, like at first I was like, whatever, because I was thinking bass like bass, and I'm like, whatever, I don't know, I could do with it or I could do without it. And then he reached out to me and he's like, dude, I think upright bass and ukulele would sound cool together. And I was like, hold on.
Oh shit.
That's cool. So we tried it and we just really loved the sound, and I think it kind of went in a folksy direction, and we both like kind of folk music and stuff. I think it's evolved to more of like, it's still folksy. I think there's singer-songwriter aspects to it now. But yeah, I think it's more, we've been working on trying to figure out what the genre is now, especially.
Which is cool to just ride it out.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, except for playlisting, you don't really need to like be like, we are this thing.
Yeah,
but
you kind of limit yourself sometimes doing that.
yeah, I
Well,
think so too.
Do you think there's a contradiction in that? Because playlisting is a really important
It is.
part of being an independent artist, especially today. Like not
Yeah.
necessarily getting like paying to get on playlist, but
like submitting.
submitting.
Yeah.
Where people put you on their own playlist and stuff like that.
Sorry, can you guys describe what you're talking about? Because I don't know
Yeah.
what playlist is.
So playlist. Look, like when you're on Spotify and you make a playlist itself, right?
Yeah.
Of like songs your favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone has their own playlist. People have multiple, and some people have playlists that have gotten a lot of traction on Spotify. So what you can do as an independent artist is you can go to these websites and say, hey, this dude's got 20,000 monthly listeners on this playlist. He's just a regular guy. His playlist blew up. I want to pay you to review my song and put it on the playlist for a couple months, right?
And people make like, I don't know if it's a full-time job, but people
Some
do this
people-
like as their job.
Yeah, some
this
people
is
do this as their
very
job.
legitimate. Yeah.
The guys that make the playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
like,
they just
it's like being
And
a
it's-
digital DJ.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like being a digital
Putting out
DJ.
old-fashioned
Yeah.
mixtapes.
Well, and on certain things too, it's not just like Spotify. It's also like now it's Instagram, now it's YouTube. It's really
Instagram too, huh?
Yeah, and I
Right.
feel like that's really now without huge labels and things ruling everything. I felt, well, I don't know. I don't want to go in. Yeah, I don't know. That could go either way, but
It depends.
but playlisting is important. I think it's
I
safe
was
to
gonna
say.
s- Yeah.
That's a game changer.
And like-
I wasn't aware about.
Yeah,
that.
it's more though. It's not so much being on a playlist is super important, but it's like but putting yourself in a genre helps people go, okay, I can discover this music
Got it.
easier.
Kinda like
Yeah.
Pandora.
Because if you just say like, oh, I make all kinds of music, people are gonna be like, oh, you're one
Yeah.
of those. You know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
I'm not even gonna look for that. But if you go to a rocker and say, hey, I make pop punk, they're gonna be like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
give it a chance. I like pop punk. You know what I mean? Or if you go, hey, I'm a folk singer, I like folk, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of like what Pandora was back then, where you just
Pandora was kind of cool though because that was where you-
it's no longer around.
no, it is.
Okay.
Just, but like no one uses
Got
it.
it, got it.
There was a height of Pandora for sure.
But like you could say, I make my songs are kind of every genre, and then you would be forced to at least listen to the first 10 seconds. of it.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely, I do think having a very, like an understood genre is important. Or like maybe even like two genres.
I would say like an understanding of your brand more.
Yes, that's
Not
kind of where I
necessarily
was about
genre.
to go with that. Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Sorry,
Working on
I
it.
kind of just said that for you.
You're fine.
Is there a specific genre though, like, or a style of music that you do kind of want to take the Fragonards? Fragonards?
The Fragonards.
Fragonards.
Fragonard.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I have kind of 3 different projects.
Okay.
So I have Gin, which is sort of my personal
With a ukulele,
project.
right?
And well, so that's morphing. Everything's kind of in transition
Okay.
right now. So that's morphing to more like girl and a piano, Regina Spektor, Ingrid Michaelson-y.
okay.
So that's gonna go that direction. I want the Fragonards.
We didn't plan that. Oh.
We just understood.
Yeah, I love that. And then I think the Fragonards kind of moving forward are going to be like full band, folksy, or going in that direction, or even, I don't know. I've heard somebody argue for indie pop, which was interesting. And then I also have the Telltales, which is my always touring band from Austin with my best friend, and we're more like Americana leaning.
And you have a tour coming up that we talked about.
do.
We talked about that when you were
Yeah.
Yeah. Which project is that with?
So my best friend Evelyn Jackson lives in Austin, and kind of in my period of like not doing music, but also like low key kind of doing music, we would always play together, just like, you know, in college where there's no bedtime and you're young and you just stay up all night and you just make music and hang out. So we used to just stay up all night and play this like beautiful grand piano in the community center and just make music together. And my parents moved to Austin recently. And she lives in Austin, so it finally kind of made sense for us to legitimize us just writing songs together. And yeah, that's the Telltales.
So is that where you're going to be going to do the tour in Austin?
So the tour is in this on the Central Coast, so mostly like Monterey, Santa Cruz.
Salinas.
It's August 10th through the 13th. So
wow.
mini tour.
Mini tour.
Mini tour.
Have you thought about? You mentioned Austin though. I know that's like
It's
just
a hotbed.
yeah for music and comedy, especially right now. But music has always been. Have you thought about doing something there?
Yeah, absolutely. So the plan is to, and we're starting to work on scheduling tours there. So the number that's been thrown out, which I don't know how realistic this is yet, but she's coming here about 4 times per year, and I'm going to be going there about 4 times per year. So we'll be consistently playing in both places, ideally.
What's the goal for you? Like, what do you? I mean, because you got these the projects you just mentioned, but which one do you kind of want to
push forward?
Longevity, or
yeah, I'm not good at choosing. I feel like I'm just one of those people where if I have multiple things to focus on, that I can push everything to the max. If I have just one thing that I'm focusing on, I feel like I get bored. So I can kind of like give different.
Different.
Yeah. I'm like that with instruments too. Oh my gosh, I like learn a new instrument every like 6 months just for like. Otherwise, it's boring. Like why? But I would say like, you know, right now I'm trying to put a lot of energy into Gin Fragonard, and this summer, because in my day job I'm a teacher, so
no way.
I have 2 months off right now. I'm just recording high school. Yeah, mostly freshmen.
What subject?
I teach art.
Oh, for real? That's the coolest.
He's a
teacher.
Oh, are you? What do you teach?
I'm an instructional aid. I'm half a teacher. But
we need instructional aids.
He always corrects us when we say.
He goes, I'm 50% teacher.
50% teacher.
I'm a diet
50%
teacher.
monster.
it's like Harvey Dent's like half. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
wait, what do you teach?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, I do have.
that would be sick.
So in the
though.
after school. Okay.
No way.
So I work 2 jobs. So during the day, I'm an instructional aide from like 8:30 to 2 o'clock, and then I transition in the after school program, which means I basically tutor all day, with the exception of I do a lot. There's a lot of hats I wear, but Mondays.
You're wearing a hat right now.
But Mondays I have the distinct honor of being the dungeon master of a very devoted group of D&D high school students.
I love that so much.
And it's so great. There's a teacher that does work with me on it. Like, he cooks up some of the visuals and stuff, and I do all the plotting and the storytelling and what have you. And it's great. And we got funded. We had a successful campaign to get like all these books and stuff into the high school. It's great.
That's so cool.
How much does being a teacher influence your music?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I write the best. I don't know how you are with this, but I write the best when I'm like, I have a lot of things in my head, and I'm like a little bit stressed out.
Yeah.
From anything, from relationships, from people, from, and that's like I was saying before, that's kind of what I translate into my songs. So my goodness, is my job just perfect for giving me
just pumping in inspiration.
It's definitely, it's stressful. It's not easy to be a teacher for sure. I also think on the other side of things, so it's my 7th year teaching, or it's about to be. And I'm just very used to being in front of people. Like, I don't have
stage fright,
any sort of stage fright whatsoever.
Especially since that's like the perfect job for a performer.
Yeah, and that's why I had this period where I wasn't doing any kind of music, but in a way I feel like I was almost like getting ready to perform, like in so many other ways. And one of those things was just being in front of people. And I mean, you have to have a sense of humor to survive as a teacher. Otherwise, you are not going to survive.
Especially high school, right?
Especially high school with freshman boys. So I mean, I'm up there feeling like it's like a little comedy act. Like I'm just making, and
you're getting heckled.
Oh yeah, constantly. Just constantly. My skin is like, my epidermis is this thick. Like, it's wild. So yeah, I think in another sense, I was super influenced by teaching, just like in the way that I perform. My banter is very similar to just me teaching.
That's what I forgot. Someone told me it was a performer. It was like the same way you kind of have to calm down a classroom. Sometimes you got to use that on stage. I've literally in the middle of the show been like, okay, if you can hear me, clap once. No joke, and they did.
Do the wolf ear thing or whatever.
I know.
Or bump it,
silent. Bump. What is it? Quiet coyote.
Quiet coyote. Yeah.
So, ain't quiet coyote working on any high schoolers.
How are you balancing though? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was agreeing with her. I said,
how are you balancing 3 music projects
and
a teaching job? That sounds insane to me.
I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Do you sleep?
When's the last time you slept fully?
That's a good question. I don't know. I had a good night of sleep last night, and I was like, I texted people about it. Like, I was like, I slept 8 hours.
This never happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to filter myself on this one. The cool thing about my job is this is my going to be my 4th year teaching at the same place. My curriculum's pretty locked in. I know. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't know if that was good.
No, it was a good clap.
But my curriculum's pretty locked in. I'm an art teacher, so we're project based. I grade twice a quarter. So
that's your own like autopilot on that,
I'm kind of I get to be a little bit on autopilot. Where I don't get to be on autopilot is like my favorite thing about my job is like my kids need me as like a therapist, as like a counselor, as all of these. So like emotionally I'm not on autopilot, but with like grading and curriculum and stuff, I get to kind of chill, to be honest. So because of that, I don't have to spend all of my time like just working, and so it opens up.
You can turn it off.
Yeah, it opens up time to where I can be a brand manager for like 3 bands and like write songs and
you're not grading every week like some teachers.
Exactly.
Math teachers are just
English teachers, especially. Dude, respect.
So PE would be the other chill thing.
Yeah, PE. And I mean, at first, when I first started teaching, I was like, why does everybody think this is so chill? Like, I am insulted by this.
Right.
Like, my job is very hard. And now I'm like, art is kind of chill.
Yeah.
art is chill.
I was going to ask you, like, and respectfully, like, do you find that the kids do get to come into your class maybe because, not that it's an easier class per se, but like you get to be expressive and have fun, unlike literature, and you don't really get to do that until your later years, where in high school it's like do this and this, but like art you get to express yourself, and so maybe they feel a little more relaxed.
Unless you want to be a dick about it. This is not art.
Yeah, no,
I would never. But I will say, in my class and like with my personality, I do kind of like require them to take it a little bit more seriously than maybe your average art class. But at the same time, like once they get past that, I mean, it's more that it's like we're gonna seriously learn how to try. We're gonna seriously learn how to think critically. Like in this age of TikTok and just like repeating what you see and creating. Yeah, it's like we are going to seriously push ourselves to be original and creative.
How do you find that's affected the kids' minds with TikTok and like how social media is now versus when we were in art school?
Especially artistic kids.
I think that there is like a real difficulty to be original right now. I think it is very like
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. I think it's hard to push yourself outside of that box, and I think a lot of people don't realize that that's what they're doing, that they're copying, that they're not
trying to satisfy the algorithm in a sense.
Kind of
of life.
Yeah. Kind of.
That's the interview. Thanks.
Of life.
Drop the mic.
In a way though, like the boxed in kind of.
Yeah, I think that even AI can write papers for people.
We
now.
just had a whole conversation about this.
Yeah.
We did.
And I mean, there's a good way to use that and there's not a great way to use that. And like, I think that we're going like closer and closer to I don't know. I don't want to filtering, but like, I don't want to live in a society where we don't have independent thought and creativity. I think it's safe to say.
I think that's the scary part about how fast technology is moving.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially for art.
Definitely.
Like
and it's crazy to see in the kids.
Those AI Wes Anderson videos that've been generating a little bit too on point, and I don't know if y'all have seen.
Yeah, I've seen the Wes Anderson stuff, but is that AI?
They're doing stuff like, this is Wes Anderson if he did Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
and it's artificially like generated. I'm like, ooh, this is.
It is cool to hear Biggie and Pac rapping the song.
Yeah, that is fun.
That's cool, but then again,
it's cool, but like, what's the end of that? Like, what's the What does that mean for for 100 years from now?
Future artists in the same genre.
I was telling them that,
movies.
like, I just went to a music summit yesterday, and on the panel they were talking about AI and stuff, and they were like, how are you supposed to, like, you know, if people are making music like this, like, who owns it?
Yeah.
And like nobody owns it.
Yeah.
Right.
This is why I always thank my Alexa after she does favors for me, because one day.
Yeah. No,
and my
like,
son, Rupert, who cleans my floors every day, I thank him too.
you know, but yeah, AI is kind of crazy.
It's a Roomba, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah, I got that.
Cool. I'm like, wait, was that weird?
How do you
know, like my 2-year-old just cleans my house.
My 2-year-old robot. I'm the Jetsons.
I throw him $1 and
the
he's
high
fine.
school library just cleans the floors.
I left my son plugged in.
Got like a mustache.
He just stays in the corner of the house all day.
Rupert's been mad at me lately. He wants me to change out his filters, and I'm like, that seems like a lot of work, son.
Okay, so
what do you do to inspire like originality to your students? Because
honestly, well, I do. I think that it's like, it's a muscle.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Imagination's a muscle. Yeah. Creativity is not something that magically people. Well, maybe some people. I think I kind of do, but you know, it's something that you. Maybe not even. That's not even fair to say that I just naturally do that. But it's something that you learn how to do. It's a skill that you build. So I kind of baby steps it, where it's like I start out the year, especially in drawing and painting one, start out the year kind of like giving a lot of prompts, and then as the year goes on, I kind of like back off. We also do a personal project where it's like, come up with your own project, submit a proposal. If your proposal is draw a stick figure, I'm going to say no. But, you know, reasonably, like, it could be anything. It could be sculpture or whatever. So that's the kind of the first time I throw that at them. And then in drawing and painting too, I start to be like, okay, here's the medium. This is the technique. Like, tell me what you want to do with this.
Do your students know about your music?
They're starting to figure it out, because you can only hide things for so long, and stage names only go so far.
Is that why you created a stage name?
Kind of, yeah, originally. Okay. And then, I don't know, I also just like...
I mean, it's also fun. But.
Yeah, it's fun. And also, I never want to be in a place of my life, or I never want to be in a place, rather, with my music where I'm filtering myself.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to say anything that I want to say, and my personality, I do say whatever the fuck I want to say all the time, which is sometimes gets me in trouble. But you know, I just didn't want to get to a point where I was thinking like, should I really put this out? Like, do I really want my kids to hear this, or do I really want so and so to hear this thing? Then
Oh, but the tiny dick.
But it's life.
Yeah, but it's life.
No,
And
she shows that to her kids on the first day of school, and she goes,
Oh, yeah?
this is art, guys.
oh my gosh, yeah, my kids are not gonna find this and be like, Miss Rago, we heard you wrote a song like this.
The reason I ask if they
We send it out to her school. Hey, guys, tell everyone to watch this.
Do you know who worked for you?
You know
the
who
reason
works for you.
the reason I asked if they know about it though is I mean it's a little different than teaching math. And then, you know, you're actually teaching what you do. Like, does it ever become where it's like, oh shit, do you know who the fuck she is? Like, you know, the students actually.
Oh yeah,
she's
they're
an
figuring
artist.
it out for sure. Yeah, and they've some of them come to my shows.
Okay.
Or have come to my shows.
We had a music teacher in high school who like promoted his band to like a lot of the serious musicians in there. And he was like, come see us. Like, we'll show you guys like what it's like to be at a show. And like we'd go.
Or like a drama teacher that does, I know a drama teacher that's a stand-up comic. And like, you know, his students come see him. It's like, oh, like you're living this shit. You're not just, you know.
Right. I'm not just bullshitting you because I saw this
and it's not that
in a book.
Yeah, we're applicable, you know.
Right. It's something that it kind of, like if I was your student, I'd be like, oh, she's really doing, what was it rapper say? I really do this shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and it's cool too, because like I mean, I love music because I feel like it brings together all of my passions, where it's like, I write a song, but I'm creating my single covers, I'm working on branding, I am doing social media, I am like doing flyers and posters, and you know, there's the visual aspect of it too. So yeah, there have been certain students where I'm like, okay, you take this really seriously, you want to make a job out of it? Okay, well, this is how I'm taking this seriously and making a job out of this. This is possible.
And you're connected in that world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the dream
The dream.
Yeah, it's the dream.
AI.
AI is my dream. Yes, I want to be a robot. No, I mean, the dream would be to quit my day job. Like I've never and it's even like silly to say it, but like I've never had any need to be famous or anything like that. Like I don't need like people to remember me for generations and generations or anything like that. But like I think the world would be better if everybody could live out their purpose and just like do what makes them happy. And I get up in the morning and I want to write songs and I want to perform and I want to record and I want to like connect with people, and like that's where my heart is. So if I could not have to work and just get up and that could be work, that would be the dream.
Honestly, that's exactly how I feel about stand-up. If I could just, I'll open for somebody as long as it pays the bills.
Yeah.
I could just be an opening act and I'll be cool with that. I don't really care about, having to hide at Sprouts because people recognize me. Like that for me would be, as long as I get to do it and it pays my bills and that's all I'm doing, that is the dream for me too. Like, I don't know you guys.
No, I'm the exact opposite.
You want to be famous?
I do.
I share a perspective with JD on that. There's a rapper who said something to this effect, who said like some people living their entire lives trying to headline, but really it's so much better being your opening act, because every year we're potentially the next big thing, I'm paraphrasing, but
and then there's also
like
something.
Yeah, but that's still the dream. The
It
dream
is a
still
dream.
goes to being the headliner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even if
I wouldn't mind being famous. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be like,
you're like, no, I mean, I'll take it.
fuck,
universe.
I'm so pissed off. Somebody gave me a tour bus and wants me to go open for that. That is so annoying. Like, no, that's not how I feel.
you'd be surprised we had someone on the show that decided they didn't like that.
Yeah.
Really? They were like, I'm too famous.
Well,
No, it wasn't like that.
It was the industry, but kudos
He's
to
gonna
like.
see this. I'd be like, fuck them.
I know. Whoever I just
hey,
insulted, I didn't mean it. I have no idea who that was.
We do not condone and support
do not.
the opinions
But-
of the guest.
Kudos.
Don't
though,
say his name. Oh,
to like the Gorillas
Oh, yeah.
or MF Doom, who figured
Right.
out a way to be famous without being famous.
Yeah.
Like,
that's cool. I'd take
Also,
that.
Too much of an ego.
Dolly Parton too kind of did that. She's
She
Dolly
did?
Parton in a way.
She wrote all these songs, right?
Well, no, but like Dolly Parton does not look like Dolly Parton. Like Dolly Parton still gets to go walk down the street,
She's
not as
living the
Dolly Parton.
Hannah Montana life.
Yeah, she's living that Hannah Montana life. Everybody and their mom knows who Dolly Parton is, but like,
And
nobody knows.
If you could do that right now, would you? Would you like go Sia and just like?
Or like Buckethead. That's
Yeah, why
another-
not? I don't know. That would be fun.
No one
Marshmallow.
knows what that guy looks like.
Well, a lot of people do. We
Yeah.
we
Oh,
don't.
okay.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
like
Slipknot kept it out for years.
For years.
Oh, yeah.
Now we all know what
Who's
Slipknot is.
who's the Mickey Mouse guy? The
Dead Mouse.
Dead Mouse.
We all know what he looks like, though.
He was famous before the
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that would be cool.
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk.
We know what they look like too now.
Well, now we do.
Now
in
we
the
do, but
90s.
for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it was hard for anyone to keep anything a secret because people found out
Yeah.
like they found out who Sia was really fast. They found out.
But they kept like Kane, for instance, the wrestler. He kept that identity
For
for
years.
years.
yeah, but the internet wasn't like as
Oh no, for sure.
That's
Or like-
real.
well, yeah, like it wasn't like as like
or,
huge.
Or like during her early career, or like she was just using the shades, the big shades, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Beyonce, some bigger artist at the time, had posted, "Wow, her was right by me. I didn't even know it was her."
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
had taken the shades off. You
Yeah.
know, they weren't. You know,
Also,
it's
like, Dolly-
Clark Kenton out here.
Dolly Parton has written songs for other people that hit big. Like that's another cool thing that would be ideal too. Like
Yeah.
you write a show or something that hit big and that's famous, but you
What
know.
song did she write for other people?
Well, she what was that one? The Whitney Houston song.
She didn't write that for her. She
didn't write it
They
for
covered
her,
it.
but it's like one of those. She wrote
Yeah.
it first originally.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we got off topic.
She's getting those royalties probably.
Yeah.
You seen the interview with her? And they're like, "How do you feel?" People like not knowing that you originally sang that song. She goes, "I don't care. I'm getting paid."
That's what.
She's so funny. Have you seen her? This is so off topic
Yeah.
now, but have you seen her
No.
with like the Taco Bell thing she brought back, the nacho pizza or whatever?
Wait.
Powerful woman.
There's a billboard around here Dolly Parton. Oh, in SF. It's
Wait,
just her
what's
saying like be nice to people.
Aw.
It's just like a really cool.
That's a
What's
great
up-
thing to do with your power.
What's up with the Mexican pizza? Sorry.
She brought up
She didn't say Mexican pizza.
No, she
She
did.
said Taco Bell
A
pizza.
Taco Bell pizza.
the taco, or I think it said nacho pizza.
Nacho pizza.
I don't know what it is,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she like it was on the menu forever ago.
Yeah.
They got rid of it.
It is a Mexican
And then
pizza.
she was
know.
like, "Could you please bring it back?" And they were
Oh,
like,
no way. She
"If
brought it back?
If Dolly
Dolly
says
wants
so." Did you also hear that? Like, apparently Taylor Swift made what is it? Eggs? The price of eggs or milk go down?
Milk.
Word.
Milk.
Oh, milk.
Because
Oh,
she
yeah,
said
I did hear about
they
that.
said something about. No, it wasn't eggs or milk. It was something else, but like the stocks tanked on it.
Yeah.
Because it was like,
She was like, "You know what to do."
yeah.
Oh, boy.
What was going up though? That
Our gas.
something political or something. She was like, "Oh, we're just gonna stop buying milk or something." And then everyone stopped buying milk.
That's the
And
thing.
like Taylor Swift apparently
people
runs
have-
enough of the country to make.
People have power like
Food
that.
stocks.
People have that level of fame.
I mean, that's when you get
Don't-
to a level of fame. Wait,
I
what?
wonder if I would want that much fame.
That's where it gets scary.
Like Maroon 5,
Oh,
Linkin Park level. That's great.
Okay,
A little Nickelback.
where we were talking about meanings to songs.
You know,
earlier.
like no, I want to be like famouser than them, but
famous sir.
hey
with
man,
that,
I'm not.
with that
I'm the
vocabulary,
exact
you're
opposite.
going right to the top.
I'm the exact opposite of a teacher.
Wait,
Stupid.
going to like we're talking about right now, where you mentioned earlier about like your audience comes up to you say, oh, the meaning of that song, which
Yeah.
is different when you wrote it.
Yeah.
That's always been the case with like dudes like you always say I go dark. Charles Manson heard the Helter Skelter. He took his own meaning to like what the song originally was intended to. That's also a thing that like I never want to get to a point where like something I created inspires some horrible shit, because that's like what you
Yeah.
but
put
you-
out there.
Yeah, but you also can't.
You can't be responsible
be
for other
responsible. You
people's
can't take that.
actions.
For sure.
Because
But
you can take a Jason Mraz song and be like, oh, that inspired me to kill somebody else. And then be like, how did the
Jason
album?
Mraz does incite violence.
Like how
And
did
it's
how did
time
love
that
is
he
a 4-letter
stopped.
word?
the first frisbee killer ever.
Yeah.
He told me he wanted me to have better todays than tomorrows, so I just killed an entire
I'll ask you.
restaurant full of McDonald's customers.
I'll ask you as a.
Reasonable. No, just kidding.
Sorry, Jason Mraz. I'm a big fan.
I'll
I like
ask,
a big
Jason.
fan
I
of
like Jason
Jason,
Mraz
too.
too. That was one of the first covers I ever did.
that's
Me
what I'm
too.
gonna ask you. What's
Which
your
song did you cover?
I think I'm yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
You know, you got
everyone
it.
does
You
that.
got it.
What did you
I was
grow?
in-
What did you grow up on? Like, what's inspired you? Early
Oh,
aside from like
Regina.
Regina Spektor.
Okay.
Regina Spektor. I feel like Regina Spektor, like, this is so stupid to say, and I freaking hate saying this, but like Regina Spektor kind of taught me how to sing. It was during that time where I was learning how to sing, and I didn't really have a lot of people in my life who were listening to music or really doing music, really. So, yeah, I would listen to her, pause it, do it, and then be like, that didn't sound right. Let me try again. Like, I
Yeah.
really learned so much from listening to Regina Spektor. I'm very excited. I get to go see her headline for the first time really soon too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She's been doing it for years now, right? Like,
Yeah, oh my gosh, she's like early 2000s, but she has managed to stay in the game. Who else did I grow up on? I don't even know. I have such a short-term memory, but I'm really into Bella White right now. Regina Spektor always. I've been liking Sylvanesso, but very hit or miss for me. Ingrid Michaelson's a classic. Oh, I definitely grew up on Ingrid Michaelson.
Nice.
Yeah.
What
I used to love Mumford & Sons.
Oh, I used to like that a
classic.
lot.
I was like, oh my gosh, Mumford and
When that-
Sons in
when
the
their
middle of
first big
Texas,
album
slapping that in the
came
middle of the car. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what slapping that. I was like slapping I don't know.
When you learned to sing, how old were you?
Oh, I've been singing forever. I can't remember a time where I wasn't singing, but I feel like when I was like learning,
Like when you really were like,
My
I want to
voice?
learn how to do this.
yeah, when I was like figuring out my voice was probably junior high
Okay.
school.
Do you think anybody can sing, or do you think it's a natural born talent?
I used to think anybody could sing. And then...
Because you sang all the time growing up.
Yeah, because I sang all the time and I grew up singing like every week.
That's like those kids that grew up with chef parents that everybody cooks at home,
Yeah.
right? And then you realize, no.
Well, I think...
Yeah.
I think anyone can sing.
I know. But from that perspective, I've spent years. So, like, I think if you're willing to put in years, if you're willing to build
That's
your
what I mean.
muscles, can you point at anybody on the street and be like, sing me a song, and then be like, but remember about your diaphragm and don't remember to project or whatever the hell.
You
Like,
can tell regular singers that, and
yeah, no, like that. Not everybody can sing. I think anybody. With the exception of, like, don't jump off a cliff and try and fly. But, you know, pretty much everything's a skill
Right.
you can learn to do.
You can
almost
develop
anything.
the skill. Because if you
might not be the best in the world, but you can
Right.
develop a skill.
Because you could like go to a karaoke thing and you pick a song for me, I'm not gonna sing it well. But if it's a song that I grew up listening to, I might sing it just like the artist. It's one of those things where it's like
imitation.
imitation, and there's
And
like
you've been doing it for 20 years.
familiar,
Yeah.
that too,
You've been
something
singing
you're
it for 20
familiar.
years at the house.
Because like, you know, it's one of those things. Like for me, I don't like. Obviously, not everyone can do stand-up comedy,
Oh no.
but
we already
right.
talked. It's
yeah,
easy.
Shut the fuck up, Marcos.
You guys ain't shit.
See, when he says everyone can sing, it's kind of like, I'm not a singer, but it's like, I don't think so.
You know why I say that?
You can learn, maybe you can learn.
I think anyone can learn, because like I grew up in the church choir, and like
Oh, you did too?
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
we,
yeah,
had
yeah.
some, we had some people that like could not sing,
Yeah.
right? And one of my buddies, I love him to death.
I know. I had to filter how I was saying it.
like but like over the years, he actually started singing a lot better. And then when I stopped practicing, really, when I was a kid, he was getting better than me.
He got better.
And I was like, oh, anyone can learn how to do this.
Yeah.
And then I realized too, like when it comes to like putting out music and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's so subjective. Because sometimes I've put on some questionable covers in my life, and people are like, "Oh, that's so great." I'm like, "What are your ears?" Even I heard that was terrible.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get something out quick, you know.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is people mistake having a presence, whether it's online or on stage. I think a stage presence is really important to become an artist.
Yeah.
More than just a singer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like for you,
Stage
like
presence.
right,
Yeah.
you can be like an okay comedian, but if you have really good stage presence and maybe you're pretty quick with the comebacks,
And you know the process.
you know the process of how
Yeah.
things work, you might get a little farther ahead than say the guy that's like a really talented singer, but he just sits there and he's not fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I noticed
Yeah,
that.
because there's people that have good jokes, but they're really, you know.
Well, and are you really going to book shows if you don't have any charisma whatsoever?
Well,
Right.
people do though.
That's true.
Do they?
Yeah, that's
How do they meet people?
There's a place for
But
non-fun singers. It's called the opera.
But they probably won't. They get booked, but they probably won't get booked again.
No,
'Cause-
see,
'cause-
I don't know.
'cause,
Maybe.
it's
But I
different-
mean, you have to make connections. How do you make
Right.
connections if people don't want to be around you?
Exactly.
Well, it's not that they don't want to be around you per se. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm talking about like fan interaction, right? Like,
yeah.
wow, you're great, but it was really rough to watch you just sit there for like a 30-minute set. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Where then my band came up and it was like, you guys like his vocals weren't like as good as that guy's, but his stage
Energy.
presence was
The
awesome.
energy, it
I
was-
was running around, I was jumping, I was climbing on
It
the
was
drum set,
fun.
jumping off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
For sure.
And you remember that more.
yeah.
You remember that more, like that was a fun show to watch. That was, you know, that's why right now everyone in comedy is trying to like do some kind of crowd work because it really makes it a personal experience. Or like, he fucking picked on me, that son of a bitch. But you know,
But now
I was involved.
Now I'm a lifetime fan of Andrew Schultz because he talked to me.
For sure.
I have that experience in San Francisco. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bronx hip hop legend KRS-One had given some advice that I kind of took with me. He said, you know, a lot of people when they're rapping, you know, in particular, they get on stage and they think that after their first song or even before their first song, they can get the crowd to go, all right, everybody, when I say yeah, you say yeah, put your hands in the air. You do that to a cold audience that doesn't even know you yet. You
Yeah.
haven't warmed up yet. They're going to boo you. They're going to be. So what I do is I go out there. I wear multiple layers of clothing. I put my first song out. After I get done performing that song, I take that first layer off like a big thick jacket.
Ooh, striptease.
By the middle of the show, after they feel like they've gone on a journey with me, then I can go, everybody in your hands, put your hands in the air, say, oh.
You said that's what KRS was.
Yeah, that's what KRS
okay,
One
I
said.
thought you were talking about yourself.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. But like.
And also, KRS talks a lot in between songs.
That too.
Yeah.
Like he mentioned that, warming the crowd up.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, there's a true art form to like it's not just magic. You don't just go up there and, something I heard as a kid.
And on that same, because he has 2 songs about being an MC. That's one of the things that I was going to ask you. I guess I could ask both of you since you're musicians. One of my good comic friends told me it's being any kind of performance, any kind of speaking in front of students or just in general performing, you kind of have to learn how to be an MC first. That's the first thing that you should kind of how to work a crowd. It's a big part of any kind of performance. Would you agree with that?
You go first.
Ooh, okay, defer. I think that there's a lot of different aspects of music. So it sounds like we're just talking about performing, not like on Spotify.
For sure.
Correct.
But I think that some people are so, their songs are so amazing and so like inviting and so thrilling that I think you can just go from song to song to song and like maybe that audience is in it and maybe they know the songs. That also affects it. I think, I don't know. Is the question, is crowd work important?
Not crowd work, but you
learning how to be an MC almost before learning how to.
I think that you learn. I would say you bring your music out, and you kind of like get a crash course. You're kind of thrown to the wolves, and you figure out like how to do that. And there's also like this aspect of like you could have a really good thing to say, or like maybe you say something really funny at the wrong moment. Like it's learning all of those things.
Yeah.
Or learning how to purposely like bit things out, like
because there's
like how comedians do jokes all the time. We kind of do the same thing. Like when I stop a song, sometimes we'll practice that, right? I go, oh, the crowd's not into this. It's a crowd full of my friends and family. They should be singing Say Ayo. So you know what I mean? So like I'm gonna stop the song and be like, no, you guys need to sing it with us. Get a little more.
You do stop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll practice that. I'll practice stuff with them, but that's like you said, it's stuff you learn as you're going. Like you don't have to learn how to
but you gotta take, like basically what he's saying, like you gotta learn how to maneuver out of shit if it's not working as you doing it.
Yeah.
Like you have to learn
but that's not what you said.
How to manipulate the crowd.
But what did you say? What was the original?
Well,
thing?
original is just you learning how to be an MC is important to performing.
Yeah.
That's essentially the question.
Work in the crowd.
Yeah, but it comes hand in hand.
I think that's almost step 2.
Yeah.
I would say. It's not step 1. You don't start there. I mean, I was a little bit lucky because I had like a little bit of a footing on that because of teaching, but I don't think most people start with that at all. Yeah.
I would say you become an MC once you're comfortable on stage. Now you can throw me up and I'll be like, hey guys, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like I could do that anyway.
Because like right now with your experience, if there was like a meeting or some kind of work meeting with hella people and it's like, hey, can you go up there and just tell everybody we're going to get started soon? Like you would be able to do that now. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could do that before. I would hope. Hey everybody, there's a meeting about to start. Like that's
okay. This is your audition.
What's
I'm gonna
hard?
Give you some. No, I'm just kidding.
What's hard is some important person that nobody's seen for a year just walked into the room.
Yeah.
Nobody in this entire venue gives a shit that I'm up here. How do I get it back?
Right.
That's what you.
You ever just be blunt on stage? Like, hey guys, I don't bite. Come to the front of the stage. You know what I mean? Like, come over here.
Oh, I tell them I do bite. Come up to the stage.
Yeah,
that'll get them up there.
That's the difference.
So you said to buy tickets where? No. No, but like we'll do that too. We'll be like, hey guys, like I'm gonna force you guys to come up here because first off, you guys bought tickets to this, so come up here. We're gonna have a good time, even if it's just 6 people in the front row.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that really when you're passionate about something, it shows. Stuff like that. Where like, where I had to compete with Too Short for audience members, where it was like, fuck, like I know he's out there, but just stick around. I'm gonna tell some jokes. That shit is hard.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, yeah. I'd rather go see Too Short.
Yeah,
than to see me.
I think there's also a level of like reciprocity with that. Like if you're in a whole lineup and you're the headliner and you like the crowd's been like back the entire time, it's going to be hard to get that crowd up. So I like if I'm like going to be in a lineup with people, like I'm in that front row. I will literally, I think Gabby's show I've done this where it's just like you're sitting on this bar stool. I'm cute enough. You're fine. I'm going to take your hand. We're going to the front. Okay, let's all go to I will literally pull people up to the front for other people. And then when I go on, they're up there.
Wow.
Or tell some people, hey, you shut up. The show's
I'll be like, come with me.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I don't know why
brilliant.
It reminded me of that White Chick scene where they're like bidding. And like Marcus is like tickling them and they're all like just
$500.
Sorry, that was random. That was ADD.
Yeah, because you like the show. Like you like show. I have a lot of respect for any kind of like if there's some kind of live performance happening, and even if it's not my thing, and it's like, hey, shut up.
It's like that person is getting up there and being creative, and they worked really fucking hard to be up there. Let's go. Like, it's not that hard to get people up there.
Yeah. So we're close to the end of the show now, but like I do want to first of all thank you for coming way out here, and I want to see you live. I want to see you perform live.
Come on down.
Are you doing any shows?
I want to start playing out here. So I'm working on booking some shows. Hopefully by
any like potential spots where you might come out to. Do you know of or
for out here?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. If you have suggestions, I will take them.
Sure.
I would love all the connections. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff. Like we're playing on July 22nd. There's a Captain and Stoker block party, and we're gonna like fill a whole like baseball field and like play out in Monterey, which will be super fun.
That's cool.
And then we've got the Telltales tour, which is August 10th through 13th, and we're playing all kinds of venues. That's all up on our Instagram. So that's coming up soon too. And then we play around Monterey all the time.
That's your home base.
That's my home base. I love Monterey because it's like town. I can drive up here really easily. I have friends up here. I've got, family in LA too. So it's just like, it's this really nice middle place where I live. I mean, I see the ocean from my window, and yet I can perform anywhere I want.
I went to Monterey one time as a kid, and everything was closed.
No.
And so that's my perception of Monterey.
No, come back.
That was the first.
It'll be open now.
That was the first city outside of the Bay that I performed stand up in.
Oh yeah.
Ever.
Wait, where?
Damn it.
In Monterey?
In Monterey.
Just in Monterey, the club.
I just got
We're kind of a club feel.
I just got out of the car and it was, I think, the Blue Lagoon.
The Blue Lagoon. Oh my God. We play there all the time. We're playing there.
The upstairs stage?
Not the upstairs stage. We play on we play grungy. We're on the downstairs. Okay. Yeah. Or are you thinking the Catalyst? That has
No. It's
upstairs at the Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon, I believe this was called.
Usually
it's in downtown, right?
On Pacific.
There's a stage upstairs. That's where I did a comedy show 2014. It was a long time ago. Yeah.
How'd it go?
It was cool. I had a fever.
Woo! Those are good circumstances.
I had 102 fever.
God
and
damn.
This is before COVID, so I just showed up. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this show. But it was cool. It was a lot of people that showed up.
What if you were the first person with COVID?
Thank you for
coming. Could have been.
Thank you for
2014?
coming. Thank you for coming to the show.
You just set every artist 10 years back, just to let you know.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck you.
I did. No, so if you do plan on coming out here, have you done a Bay Area show yet?
Not as an adult.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So when you do come out there, we'll be sure to support you fully to get followers
100%.
over there.
Would love that.
Yeah. Any closing statements you have for any final thoughts, like Jerry Springer?
I'm working on an EP this summer. I'm just nonstop recording from now next 2 months, and then it should be out hopefully mixed and mastered by the end of August. So somewhere in the fall it should be coming out. So look for that. It's going to be just like under my solo thing. So Gin Fragonard. And then we have Haggard Heart coming out with the Fragonards soon, in probably a couple months, maybe a month and a half. And then Sidewinder is going to be the next single out with the Tall Tales.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wait, quick question. Do you mix and master your own stuff or send it out?
I send it out, but I
do
record
too.
my own stuff.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. No, same.
So
Yeah.
when you book something out here,
Yes.
I'm gonna reach out to you because I could probably, if it's the same weekend or whatever,
Yeah.
get you something booked in Richmond. So
Sick. I would love that.
We all have somewhere.
There's somewhere. We
Yeah,
could
hook me
you
up.
There's
I would
somewhere
love
for
to.
sure. I know a place in mind specifically that it would be great. Like,
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
All
do
right.
it.
Thank you for coming out once again.
Thanks for
It was
having
awesome.
me.
Thank you.
This
It
is
was
so
awesome.
much fun. Y'all are
Thank
super
you.
cool.
Thank you. That's been the Voice Party.
And we're out.